Yeah, so connect to my higher self, Raziel, and then Ra, and then I also have a crystal being, which is an even higher dimension, which I'd like to connect to, and then we can go from there.
Okay.
And I don't have a name for that being. I just am aware of it. So.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. All right, blessings. All right, here we go. Great, Raziel. Grace you. For higher self, blessings to you. Yes, how can I help you at this time?
I am looking for more information as to what my next steps are and what my next guidance is for my own channeling that I'll be doing and connecting with you, and then looking for that guidance.
Well, it's one moment. It is. There are several things that you're. I feel like there's an Egyptian connection that has not been fully explored. There's of course, yes, you connect to Ra, but there's an Egyptian lifetime or lifetimes of knowing, of a sense of knowing, knowledge of the past that was forgotten, where you were like hypnotized and can remember things like Atlantean energy when it was forgotten. So, where a bunch of it was like the middle period of Egypt, you can say. So where you're going is kind of like in the past in some form. I believe that'll help you heal in your own direction, basically, because that time you're awakening people to what was going on also, as you are doing today, if that's helpful at all.
That is helpful. How do I awaken my own, if I was hypnotized to not recall, how do I awaken that?
Well, yeah, now you don't need a hypnotism. I mean, you can still go in that direction, actually. There's also timelines that never occurred, at least on the main timeline, but that you're still connected to them, even if they did not occur here, can occur in other realities that you're bringing in. So yeah, it's just bringing in what you feel is right, basically. What is necessary for now, for this reality, basically. That's the main thing you're doing here at this time.
Okay, so I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh yes, because you're bringing knowledge in from the moon. I see, and that carries a lot of hidden knowledge, of course. You say moon knows all. You can say.
Why can't I remember any of this? And when am I going to be more connected with my, say, for example, my sight for like third eye type of the vision aspect?
Like they'll come in as a third eye? Well, of course, a lot of your knowledge will take you out of this timeline. That's why it's not been fully remembered. The personality character that you're now is something that you actually been working on many lifetimes in your past. But now you're adding the knowledge of the past. You had knowledge of your past. In your past lives, you knew things about the ancient world. You just knew it. But there wasn't much you could do with it, really. I mean, you can, but now you have more of a platform. So you're like building the person that you are now, and now you're linking back to those lifetimes to bring that into your current. So it will open up over time. Okay. As we were speaking, you're getting hints already, as you can see.
They're slow.
That's kind of the idea. Well, you still have a lot here to discover. There's still a lot here to. We don't want you to miss anything in the current lifetime. We're focusing on different reality time frames. That's why that happens.
I see. Thank you. Is there anything else that you want to tell me or share with me at this time?
Yeah, you've been part of the land of the giants. Even during Atlantis time, as there were actually many experiments, but it was like an island of giants. They were not Anunnaki either. It was basically Atlantean experimentation, and they did last a long time. I mean, they even out when they left the island, they still coexisted with humanity for a long time. So, also very connected to the bird, the eagle and the hawk. Yeah, those are strong. Yeah, you see, eagle or hawk is the hawk is that you're going in the right direction. You know, if you ever see that or
Yes, I actually
whatever
just had
shows
2
it
hawks in my yard, so
exactly.
that's
Yeah,
double times 2.
yeah.
So
So that means you're definitely on target because sometimes if you just see one, you're going in the right pace. You're obviously going in the right direction, but with 2, it shows you're prepared for more than you realize. So much more to come, of course.
okay. Is there any with my 3D career, anything that I should know?
It will get better throughout this next year. It's going to be it's going to be similar to last year or this current year, but it feels like you'll have better luck there. Communication will increase. Right now it's kind of a it's hard on everybody right now, as you can see. Yeah.
Do I have to speak with Ra to get knowledge from that time or that aspect of myself?
That would be because his DNA is still there.
Okay.
Yes, that would be a good one to connect with. Yes.
Okay. And then one more question. How is it that I'm not really tapping into understanding or feeling? I feel the connection with my angelic brothers and sisters, but again, with that sight to them, kind of that astral travel is an aspect that I'm still trying to figure out.
Oh, the astral. Well, yeah, because you're so connected to this reality, it's difficult to bring that in. Well, yeah, because you want to. Yeah, I believe astral travel will open up throughout this year. Actually,
We have.
yeah, I feel like it will. You guys Raw's help for that. There is
Yes.
some blockages because there's so much here for you to see. But that's why the reason it hasn't showed up just yet.
Can I release any of those blockages at this time?
Some of them are connected to Agartha. It seems there's contracts with the Earth that's actually connected to the moon's energy of timelines that are like sacred timelines that you're going through right now. You can say what the world's going through at this moment.
Yes. Who is
So
Gartha?
Agartha,
Agartha.
Agartha, yeah, the place.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of your lifetimes are actually in Agartha. Yeah, parallel lifetimes. Yeah, parallel lifetime. A Garthian lifetime and a human lifetime in 2 different places at the same time. Several of those. I don't believe one's going on. If one's going on now, they're not showing me. That's the sign.
Okay.
Allow me to say it. That really matters at this point.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Oh,
You wish to speak to Ra?
yes, please.
Yes.
I would.
Let's see. Greetings to you. This is Ra. Blessings to you.
Blessings.
Yes. Yeah, it seems like your energy is doing much better today.
Yes. It's been very difficult the last couple of weeks. Was that because of the new energies that were coming in for yesterday?
Yes. Well, And before that, there's a lot of Martian energies here also.
Ah,
It's Venus and Mars are connected to the Earth also. Of course, I don't mention those planets. Because all the focus is on Jupiter and Saturn at this point.
correct. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been dragging through mud, and I've kind of been wondering like what's going on, if it has to do with upgrades that I've been receiving, and what more should I be
Yes.
doing as far as like learning how to work with the Temple of Ra with some of the work that I've been doing for healing
Well,
others.
yeah, it seems that yes, there's one moment. Yes, as I said, the focus on this reality is that's why it's been so, because you're used to the higher dimensions, actually used to the 10th, 12th dimension realities. And so it has a lot to do with the astral plane as it's being, as much as being prepared there for the Earth's future. Of course, bringing in change in any world like this is very difficult. It's another reason why you've been feeling the way you've been feeling, of course, because you're bringing in new timelines from other places.
Oh. See, I
So
wondered if I was
yes,
like doing that work, and then the hard thing is because my energy is like I feel the energy, and so then I'm awake, but then I'm tired. So it's kind of a catch-22.
yes, you get knowledge and then you're tired to do it, too tired to do anything. Yes. Well, you've also had you've had alien lifetimes where you've been on the moon. Like that's what your other your higher self was saying. Basically, they're not going into it, but
Gotcha.
yes, you're as it was like moon's basically a moon base. So that's where you can see great much of what's happening on the world. You
Uh,
had many lifetimes an alien being watching over the Earth, and it's very exhilarating actually to be there. But it's also still a difficult reality too. So I believe some of the reason why you're feeling what you're going through is some of this knowledge is like you want it, but it's like I'm not sure if I want it because some of it can be kind of heavy for like I said.
yes.
But it's coming through though. I mean, little by little, yes, your Egyptian lifetimes. Yes, you were a seer in your Egyptian lifetimes. You were a psychic, as they call it today, medium. But you would give like similar to with like Delphi, the seers of Delphi, similar to that. But it was more gradual. It was very more like, okay, now I'm going to be possessed right now, and a being will talk through you. It just come out of nowhere. But people back then were very superstitious. They knew it's like, oh, we better quiet, listen to this.
Okay.
It wasn't like how you have today where people are just calling it in. It just sort of happened all on its own back then because there's the only way to get a hold of anybody just to start like your eyes start acting strange and just like all of a sudden there's somebody else like whoa. It's just so, but it wasn't a negative thing. It was more of a, to let people know, like some of the pharaohs too, to kind of get them a little bit edgy.
So it would be definitely more visual, especially since they didn't have distractions back then like we do with all of our media, like what we're using right now today. So
Mm-hmm. Well, these distractions are the gods too. These are the alien beings, spirit beings are all interfering. Everybody's, of course, they want to distract everybody right now. Things are happening right at this point. I mean, some of this stuff's coming in where nobody even notices, and that's kind of the point. So when they find like alien channelings or connections, it's like what was like thousands of videos there or something like that. It's like, where have I not
yeah.
seen this before? It's kind of the point. Because
Yes,
people
I
aren't ready
understand.
for it.
It,
As much as they
well,
say they are.
that's what I end up doing too, is I end up channeling ET beings and fairies. And so that's what I'm kind of wondering too, is who have I been channeling these last couple of days?
No beings that
Because
you're not aware of, or it seems like you are
I
aware.
I am aware of them, so I will channel. So I'm channeling light language or star language. So I'm wondering, who am I channeling when I'm channeling star language?
Oh, I see. Yes. Syrian energies actually connected to some of the elephant beings in Sirius.
Oh, I had a message about that and I didn't understand it. Somebody said that they saw with the white elephants all dressed up in flowers and they didn't know what else to tell me about that. What does that mean?
Yeah, because it was, I don't know why they did that, but I guess because people aren't really identifying elephant beings all that much in the alien collective. So yeah, it's just showing that it was just a softer way of just showing themselves. That's all. So you show
Okay,
an
so and
elephant
that's
being and yeah, as an
elephant beings,
alien.
but it's a Syrian elephant being?
Yeah, Syrians, yes.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Also connected to felines of Lyra. Also
Yes.
felines of Agartha, which is actually a rarity.
Agartha?
Those cats are big. Yes. Those are like saber-toothed cats.
Oh, I see. Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, your prehistoric world
And,
did not go away. It's still here.
yeah. Well, interestingly enough, my sign apparently is why I came in with this is a Leo, right?
Yeah.
To help
Well,
me
yes,
remember.
the human cat, the human that transitioned, the cat transitioned into the human to be like a grandfather of humanity. So, well, some of them being grandfather parents, acting the part, some don't. Yeah, the cat people came here as basically as as to govern the earth, not to tell it what to do, but to guide it in human form. So many of them, removed a lot of their feeling. It became human here. They were felines, and then they used their technologies to actually be human here. And then they
Gotcha.
eventually just started to incarnate here.
That makes sense. That's probably why I've had so many, and this was early before I started working on my healing work, so many dreams about lions and cat people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No. Yes, to give the humanity on this world some guidance, especially when our guidance was no longer available. But that was also part of the idea to have no guidance.
free will. Background, I also know that there's Pleiadian.
Yes.
And are there individuals that I should be trying to connect with any of these backgrounds, with the Syrian elephant beings, with the Lyra?
Like a certain being, like a name.
Or yeah, I mean, should it be a name that I'm trying to connect with, or should they just continue to be the collective?
Right now, it'll be a collective. They'll bring you a name. When a name comes to you, yeah, a name will come to you directly, or you will create a name for them. So they're kind of keeping it broad for you for right now.
Okay, and that's for any of them that I'm working with: Syrian,
Yes.
the feline, the Pleiadian, and the felines of the Agatha and
Lyra.
Lyra.
Agartha is like the saber-toothed tiger
Okay.
beings. I feel now. Yeah, you can. Yeah, what
Okay.
name you feel comfortable for them?
Okay.
Yeah, they don't feel like anybody knows they exist. Well, technically nobody does.
Technically, now we do.
Yeah, they're just. Some of them are humanoid though. I believe these are humanoids ones they're talking to. Obviously, don't look exactly.
I wonder. I had channeled a being that honestly reminded me of R2D2. It was very kind of like beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop, like whatever was coming through. It just, yeah, I don't know. And I just was like, okay, I think I'm channeling an AI being.
Yes. Yes. Now, for where it's not really saying. I believe it's from Sirius, actually, from what I can pick up on that.
Sirius?
Yes, but it's a friendly AI being.
Yeah, and I know that when I was right before I was channeling, my regular language became very robotic. So that was kind of like a clue in. Yeah.
That's when you're becoming more android-like. So some of those androids are on Pleiadian ships and Syrian ships, but a lot of them are actually on Pleiadian with their assistants.
Okay. That makes sense. So jumping back to Isis, since I've been given codes from Isis.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know if there's a message from her and if I have any guidance on those codes.
Yes, there are activations codes from the moon, actually from the sun and the moon. It's like a dial-in number. So each code that you're receiving that you feel, it mostly just energy codes, basically for you to open up. You actually have a lot of Agartha. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. You're probably not. Your
Probably
Agarthian
not.
lifetimes, yes. You had Agartha is actually that's where a lot of your blockages come. It has to do about, as basically a lot of Garthians were Atlantean Garthians in their past. A lot of the Earth's war was above ground, but also underground. Similar to like we would see in Lord of the Rings.
Gotcha.
And you were a seer there, like you could see things like a wizard, a female. You can see things, like you can tap into even the minds of some of those that are causing, war, the enemy, basically.
Right.
That's another reason why you have your blockage, because sometimes they can even give you headache. They can fight you back mentally. You survive that all right, but part of it's a little bit much to bring back here. It's like, is that stuff really real? It's like, yes, it is. It's another reason why there's a blockage there.
Dreams where I'm like, what is that? What is it where I was traveling underwater? What was that? It was a dream, but I was literally walked into the water and just was like able to breathe under the water. But
yeah,
I
that's
was
a Lemurian, Syrian being, and it's connected to Lemuria also. So it's, yes, you've done this in the past, and you've done this on other worlds where you just go into water like it's no big deal.
Yeah, like I just like water and was like as if I had gills. Like I was like, okay, well, I'm not a mermaid because I don't have a tail.
Well, yeah. Well, a lot
right
don't
into the water.
They don't need gills. They just go into the water. They just can breathe.
Yeah.
It's like designed in their body where they can just breathe underwater without a problem.
Oh, wow.
That's more fun,
cool.
actually.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have the gills and all that, but some like it for design.
For design purposes. Are there other codes that are coming still too from Isis?
Something to do with when the sun rises. The sun rising, that's even connected to elite energy. The rising sun is a symbol of theirs. You can almost look at that as, if you ever see that in your life or it shows up, which is rare, but this is up to you. Like, you can be up in the morning before the sun rises, and there's no guarantee you receive a lot of information, but you might feel something different in that morning time than a regular day. Mornings are always very like you're on another planet almost.
Yeah.
So think of like when the sun's rising and everything's so kind of, from the dark, it's so kind of cold and there's kind of mildew and all that. Think about a whole day like that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like the whole morning air energy. A lot of that's an Agarthian energy. That's what a lot of what Agartha feels like. So it gives you kind of a glimpse of what their realm is like.
I was also trying to find out if my star family was Andromedan and Fendorian. I already have Syrian as confirmed, so.
Andromedan, yes, but Andromedan is part of your soul contract. There's an Andromedan. I seems like moons are very connected to Andromedan moons. That is like a moon base, because you're part of like the, I won't call it the military, but it's kind of like the military.
Gotcha.
Assist Earth in its awakening. But yes, there's an Andromedan connection there. But you're a feline Andromedan being usually.
Feline, huh? Are there any symbols on that, or are there symbols from Andromedan that I should be using to help bring more knowledge, information, or ability with this work?
The star within a star.
Is it a 5-pointed star?
Yes.
And is the star within the star within the center of the star?
Yeah, it's in the center of the star, yes. You have a large star and you have a smaller star in the middle. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And what does that signify to me?
It's remembering home, remembering a place where there's less chaotic energies, where you can be yourself. You can go a week or 2 weeks without worrying about anything, which is a nice feeling, or all year for that matter.
Oh, I need to go there.
They say 2 weeks without worrying about anything, because at least that still connects you to this world. Because sometimes you get so worryless, you disconnect from assisting this world. Because that's what some alien beings, they can assist this world, but then they kind of wander off and do, go back to their world's energy. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's hard to help this world when you got to be contacted in some form of way to feel that what humans are going through.
I guess that's why we have limited vacation time.
Well, in some ways, that's to keep. It's kind of like to, what do they call it? To burn the midnight oil or something. It's like keep,
Yep, that's me.
While you're here, keep life going. It's like, this world's difficult. Do you want to stay here forever? It's like, do you want to be on vacation forever? This kind of a vacation.
Right. So the feline Andromedan that I am, is that a female or male?
Yes, female. Mm-hmm. I believe most of your lifetimes are predominantly female. Usually. Gotcha. That's where you feel the most balance.
I see.
Of course, you have male lifetimes, of course.
Do I have a name and family there? Or is it better not to know yet?
Yeah, they're not saying anything on that.
Okay, that's fine.
They're kind of secretive on that.
I gotcha. They're probably like, what? She already got this information? Well,
there's almost saying like, what, you going to visit us tomorrow? She's going to come over?
Yeah. No, it's...
Which is probably true.
But I could say hello in the astral, right?
Yes, you can. So they'll know. Yeah. Well, that star, that's your home address.
That's my home address. Okay. And so I also have Fendorian because I've tapped into Fendorian before.
Mm-hmm. Need more about that or more details?
Yeah, I would like to know more about that.
Well, that's more of your male incarnation. You've also been on Fendorian with 2 heads.
Okay.
And they did argue with each other. Well, that's one way of having a brother and sister. You're just connected.
Oh, lovely.
Mm-hmm. But as a Fendorian being, you're kind of like an elf-looking being. It's more like that. I mean, yes, you look like a Fendorian, but also had a elf-like physique.
Okay.
It seems, because it's like it's more
very athletic and
where your psychic ability can connect to it.
Gotcha. And then for my Syrian life,
was that what? Many of those.
Many.
Is there one that comes through you want to know about, or one?
No, only because I keep channeling these. These seem to be the galactics that are coming through when I channel, and it all is light language. It's star language, so there's slight differences, but they're very similar. And sometimes I have a little difficulty telling between the Fendorian, Andromedan, and Syrian.
Syrian. Yeah, well, Syrian. They're all kind of interlocked in some ways. They're all kind of similar.
The Lyran seems to have more like kind of rolling R's. So I'm like kind of putting 2 and 2 together on some of them. So it's almost like growling, like the rolling R's.
Yeah, you can say, yes, you have some of that. I mean, they've grown out of a lot of that, but for connecting to your world, yes, they feel it's one way so you can distinguish them.
Yeah.
Well, with Syrian, you have like hundreds of lifetimes with Sirius. A lot of them are Egyptian lifetimes, Egyptian worlds. And some of those are ocean worlds also. Kingdoms other than the sea.
Gotcha. Which is, I
But you
guess, why I
want,
love water so much.
yes, you are,
I want to
which
be
is also,
beachside all the time.
some people are just terrified of the ocean for good reason.
Yeah. Well, for all the lives that I've helped cross over from the ocean, drowning, ships going down, yes,
Mm-hmm.
that makes perfect sense. And what about the Fae? I just found out that I have an Elvin twin that I've just recently reconnected with.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the Fae. Yes, that's more of like a, yeah, like a pixie energy.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that is it's one that it kind of pries into everyone's life. Like it sees what some do. Some are prima donnas, but some are they find people's flaws very easily. They even find in people's ears if they're small enough
Uh,
to get people's attention. They enjoy being small.
I bet so.
So
Are they
yeah, they're kind of
bothering
like,
me?
no, maybe some of your animals that are there. I think you have a dog there, so
I
well,
do.
sometimes
Yeah.
like get them when your dog gets up for no reason. It's like, I thought you were okay, now you're up. It's like, yeah, probably.
Oh, what about when he's running in place? Who's causing that? Is that a
Yeah,
pixie?
that's a pixie, yeah. And there's a fairy being too. Usually it's a pixie, yeah. Yeah, I'll bring that knowledge in.
Pixies will, sorry, you were, I actually lost our connection a little bit for a minute. It
Oh
just kind of,
yes, it's
they maybe didn't want me to know.
yeah, it's probably they're good at seeing danger. Yeah, they're good at seeing things like if there's an enemy coming, they run off and tell everybody. And yes, they can't get blocked by doing that.
Gotcha. So now we at least know why he's running in place, because it's like, what is he doing? I was like, well,
Yes.
he must be off in another galaxy going on a gallivant, but he's laying on his side, running in the air.
Yes. Yeah, dogs have dreams and they go off in the astral plane and they're just having a blast. Yeah, that's why the animals sleep all the time, because that's where all the adventure is. That's where their world is. That's where their real work is, as you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I have had a galactic guide connected with me, Santorini.
Mm-hmm.
Can we call him in? I'd like to know.
Yes, of course. Yes.
If there's anything else
Santorini.
he would like
Yes.
to.
No, we can connect to him.
Santorini.
Santorini. Yes. Blessings to you.
Blessings.
Greetings. This is Santorini. Blessings to you.
Blessings indeed. Greetings.
Your journey.
Thank you.
Yes. Your journeys. Yes, it's a hard time. Yes, you've been downloading a great deal from astral. Some things you've been getting from the astral cannot, or not being allowed to be brought here into the physical as of yet. As my energy, well, you are also connected to the mountains, the rock people. And
okay.
Yes, rocks do talk. Mountains do talk.
Yes, I don't disagree with that. I
And
feel that
yeah.
I'm drawn to them. Yeah.
Where actually realities where mountains do move, and I mean they kind of move on your world, but not so much. But of course, people have stones, and that's where that's helping people connect to the earth, of course.
Yes, that's with me with my crystals too, my crystal skulls as well.
Yeah, it's remembering the earth, the inner Agartha, the crystal earth that's unseen. So yes, there's parts of the earth where there are all these different types of crystals everywhere. Not all beings see it, but it is within the earth's core. Actually, it's just not seen.
So if I'm getting downloads for future, does that mean once additional energy comes in to change, or is that more of a once I'm ready and have learned a few more things, the downloads that I'm getting now?
What Yeah, look, ask for downloads. What in your physical, what downloads are you looking for? Is there a time frame that you're looking for, or what is it that you're looking for?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I just figured the sooner I have more access, the faster I can get people to recognize me and reach out to me more
Hmm.
along the lines of an Alba Weinman, so to speak,
Hmm.
whose name
Well,
is, very well known. And it's like I already know I'll be doing conferences and I'll be teaching.
hmm.
I guess because I'm just always a teacher everywhere I go, it seems.
Hmm. Well,
um,
you are a to connect to the Akashic records. So you've been going through Akashic is what you've been doing in your astral, and your connections here, just focus more on the Akashic is what I recommend. Now you might see a lot of feline energies because felines are protecting Akashic records for various reasons.
yeah,
I feel like too much information for the world will be
right,
sometimes too much.
right,
Well, it
right.
does go back to the space program that you're connected to. Actually, the ancient space program. Well, humans were colonizing, going to other worlds, and they are still there during Atlantis time period. I know they talk about the current
Right.
space program, but there's a past one where
Is
humans
that
are going to other places.
kind of I feel like it's kind of like those movies that they create now with the portals that you can
Mhm.
star travel through or whatever it was,
Yes, there
ancient
are
star travel.
humans. I believe that's one of the reasons why you have the blockage too, because this is outside the world. Yeah, it's like visualize a planet where you think humans are. You don't have to. You can whatever
Uh-huh.
name that comes to mind, where they're kind of waiting for their Atlantean family to come back for them, even after all these years, and they never came back. So they created a life there, and they're still waiting for because the Atlanteans went to all different planets
Yeah.
and made created civilizations. But the main family of the Atlanteans did leave because they're going to other places and said, we'll be back. And then it never came back because of what happened to Atlantis. So,
I
and
see.
some did come back and couldn't believe what happened to Earth. But they had enough technologies to get back to Earth. Just couldn't believe it.
Yeah. That's pretty
So that's part of
incredible.
your energy. You have been one of those people too. Where you've been on another world as Atlantean, human. They don't really call themselves Atlantean, but we'll just use that name. But created part of civilization, lived life. Everything was actually quite decent. And then you're trekked back to Earth because you haven't heard back from anyone. You had enough technology to do so. Find out Earth is no longer the Earth that it was. Like you left when you were little, but you remembered a lot. When you got older as an adult, you went back and things are much different. So,
Mm.
and that's why some of these worlds are kept secret too, because they don't want humans on this world invading those places.
Right, right.
So, yeah, a lot of those worlds are kind of cloaked into another reality. So, some of them have been found by the space program, not many.
Yeah. That's like I have a lot of gifts that have been given to me for astral travel, cloaks
Mhm.
and scepters and crowns and
Mhm.
um are those assisting me? I mean,
Yes. So, yes, visiting other human Earths or other human, yeah, Earth human on other planets. I believe that will help you in your astral. That will start to, of course, you're like, new things are coming. Is like, is this really happening? But yes, it's,
yes.
yeah. That's why some of the downloads have it. You get these downloads, it's like, oh, what do I do with this? Because it's not
Gotcha.
something in your regular psyche of your world. So,
Right. And I can feel the energy when they come in.
yes, yeah.
Um, so there's like, unless I'm, dead asleep, and then of course they could
Mm-hmm.
come in and maybe not wake me up. That's always a possibility.
There's also Atlantean feline worlds too, where they went everywhere. This
Oh,
is
wow.
before Atlantis, way before Atlantis ever lost itself. They had the capabilities of cultivating and enhance. And some of those humans did come back here and cause some trouble.
Yeah. It's always those troublemakers, I guess.
And they're part of your elite currently too. Of the Earth,
Ah.
yeah.
Troublemakers. Sorry.
So that's another reason why things have that. And I believe also you have an ancestor that's connected to the elite too. That, yeah, like you're related to someone that's like a brother that is part of the elite system on this world, even currently. I feel, of course, you're not going to run into them, I don't think.
Right. Right.
So,
We're in the different percentages of our beings, but I don't think if I was in the elite, so to speak, I don't know that I'd be doing this work. So
no,
there's no way that would happen.
but I do see like a brother of yours from another incarnation that's connected to this system that's currently going on. They came from one of these Earth planets or human planets. Some of these planets are in Alpha Centauri because that's a closer star system. Some of them in Pleiades also. And normally they're hidden.
Right.
At least they still are today. But a lot of them have no idea what's going on with Earth at this time. They're just living their own lives and nowhere near what's going on here.
Gotcha. Now, there's been several times where I feel like I've seen galactic ships. They always look like tiny little moving stars. Sometimes they're little orbs. I don't usually see triangular ships. They tend to be more round, but I've seen enough of them a handful of times where I'm like, okay, that is not that is not a ship. That is not a plane. That is not a star. That's not a shooting star. Like, I'm wondering how many times have I actually seen them.
Many. It feels like some of those ships are feline, actually. And they actually show themselves, yes.
Yeah.
Feline beings are on those ships.
And then I had this dream where I was over the ocean in almost like a personal craft. And I was like looking out and I was like, man, this is really cool. And then it's almost like they realized that I knew what I was doing. And then they said, okay, wake up. And then it was like I was in a dream, but that was like really cool. It was a very real experience.
Yeah, because apparently you were trained to fly it, but apparently you adapted very quickly.
Yeah. It was like, I just remember looking out over the mountains and over the beach, and it was just very very enjoyable. It was almost like I was not human at the time and monitoring the human world to see like what was happening. But I don't know, I couldn't put two and two together quite.
But that one was like an ambassador that you were or are monitoring. Well, yes, talking to other alien beings to say, yes, humans are still worth protecting.
Oh, good.
I mean, there's always that argument. Why bother? There's always somebody saying that. Well, because aliens get tested too. I mean, your world is testing the alien beings too, and they don't really like those tests very much.
Look, if we have to go through it.
So they have to understand how the mindset, because they can get caught in the mindset too. And yeah.
Now, I was advised that I have a crystal being, my highest frequency self. My highest frequency self is a crystal being, beige and yellow, like an emerald, kind of rectangular. And that I'm supposed to connect in with that being. Can you tap into that at all?
Yes, you want us to bring that being through? Or...
I would, and I would if the being will, if I guess it's still part of my own self, my own soul, but
it
if
is
Santorini, if he doesn't
it
have
is
anything else to say.
Is a being at the 12th dimension, but you also have other crystal beings that are connected to in the higher dimensions, but this one's 12th dimension. But yes, I can bring this being through. So, yes, blessings to you.
Blessings.
Greetings to you. I am the crystal being. Blessings to you.
Blessings
We are,
and greetings.
yes, we are beings that built the foundation for Atlanteans to exist on your world. As basically, it's like opening up a doorway, a dimension for them to connect with your realities. As you're part of that seeding process, also as a crystal, angelic energy. Now, a name is up to you to give to me or us.
Okay.
Don't really go by names. That's why a name has never come up.
I gotcha. That makes sense.
So we know that all worlds have a purpose. Even this planet, what it's going through, we can be used for positive energy and darkness. We're neutral energies. We're not ones to, because you can use a crystal for weapons or for light. So we are here to learn from all aspects of existence. So our energies have been used by reptilians, control of society, even mind control to a certain extent. That's not our intentions to be that way, but some crystal beings can be corrupted too. But
Yes.
the journey is to bring it to light also.
Yeah. One of the lifetimes that I literally just recently cleared in the last few days was where I had was taking dark magic and putting it into a crystal and I guess turning it dark. And it's almost like the movie, I guess, Dark Crystal, where they went back and turned it to white light. So that's what I did is I turned it back to white light,
Yes.
brought it back up to source and
Mhm.
converted it. So healing that and healing many lives, I understand at the same time.
Yes.
Does that tap into you as well when that happens?
Yes,
Or
right. Yes, that was exactly how it works with us. So some dark crystals want to stay that way forever. And it's kind of like I won't call it a battle, but it's
yeah,
kind of a battle with them because they can take over a planet very easily, but they themselves, their minds aren't always working properly by doing that. So we respect their decision, of course.
so as a crystal being, are you more of a light energy or are you more of a form with like, I mean, I think of beings as arms and legs, right? So
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, I can form into a humanoid being, yes. So normally we are an energy source normally. Meaning we have a body, but we can turn into light very easily. So
I
yes, we
see.
can appear as a human form. We can copy of what humans look like too, if you need to live among you. Maybe
I
not.
see.
Obviously, it look like a crystal being. But some can look like they're human too if they truly want to.
So, what is the coloring of beige and yellow? Is that an energy color?
Yes.
That is
It's a
that the only
neutral color. And that's not the only
neutral?
color, but that's the color that you're at this time. You're usually around a blue color, blue crystal, or clear crystal, actually.
Oh, no wonder I'm drawn into the clear crystals.
Yes, that's what you're drawing towards. Yes, I also see energies that you've had disagreements with the grays in your past. I
Oops.
imagine you have some memory of that.
Hmm.
It's also part of your blockage.
The grays.
Yes, most of them.
Terrific.
You know, there's a lot of stuff you know about that you don't remember. Yes, you have been abducted by them in previous lifetimes. I don't believe you've been abducted by them in this life, but they have tried several times. If you
Yeah.
have, it's been blocked by even us. So,
Um,
yes.
yeah. I think the problem is because I'm highly sensitive that they weren't able to remove me because I would
Mhm.
awaken,
Yes.
so to speak, and that travel was not an easy thing for them to accomplish.
Well, as a Pleiadian being, or a moon being, for that matter, 'cause on the moon you were a Pleiadian being. You captured, well, I can say captured because you did have to capture them. Some grays. Now you were friends with some grays, but some of them that were very ruthless had to be captured. And it was like capturing something like that was like capturing a wild animal.
Yeah. Wow.
and there were cages for them. I mean, I had no choice. That's not the way you want to be. But some of
Yes.
them do so much, yes, dark magic on the earth that's all they know. And some of that's programmed by the reptilians, but some of the greys, this is what they do. So that's part of your awakening process
Yeah,
of how they.
that's what I was either I told myself during a session with another client that the reason that my sight is being blocked is not that it's not open, but I am blocking it because I don't want to see the beings.
Yeah.
Maybe it has to do with memory of the beings that I don't want to
Yes.
see. But I'm thinking I have knowledge of all these beings. I've seen images of them. So what's the problem? Like it shouldn't be a block anymore.
Well, yeah, because it opens up a whole nother realm, and it can go quite deep because you've connected to Zeta motherships. You've seen how they've done abductions. You've been actually on a ship while they did an abduction as a Pleiadian being, but they didn't know that you were there. And that was a pretty good quote for them not to know that you were there.
I have, yes, I do have my hidden missions.
Yes, and sometimes you have to let them do the things, um, kind of catch them in the act, but also see how they do it. Like you finding them is hard. Finding a gray or the gray groups that cause difficulties is hard enough. But once
Yeah.
you find them, you kind of spy on them for a while to see how they do things, so you can find more of them. So as a Pleiadian being, that's part of a different group. Actually, Ashtar Command is one of the groups that you're part of that was looking for them.
Am I a part of Ashtar Command? Because I've connected with Ashtar
Yes.
recently.
Mm-hmm. Now, that's kind of a controversial group. Some people, I've made it look dark, but there is a light side to it. But some are trying to infiltrate it. But there is a
Be-
positive energy with them.
because I just, when I was working with them, had some rewiring done. So,
Mm-hmm.
so that they could help me be better connected to my galactic.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Um,
Ashtar will. Yeah, you don't have to go about it publicly and tell everyone about Ashtar because some people have difficulties with Ashtar. It opens up a whole different. Maybe people have difficulties with it, but yes, Ashtar will help you in your awakening. Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, because a lot of stuff was covert missions, secret missions on the Earth. So,
I see. I also understand that I'm part of a high council or several high councils.
mm-hmm. Yes, Galactic
Any,
Federation of Light, Ashtar Command, actually the Orion Council, you're part of in some form or another. Yes, that's all part about contact. Well, you're getting people used to the contact energies of where things are going. So you connect people on an intellectual level so they can feel, because some people intellectually don't understand all of this, obviously.
right.
Sometimes you have to remove that part of yourselves, which is some are find that impossible to do because we're talking about different dimensions, and of course,
Different dimensions, and
what
that
is
we
that?
are dimensional beings, and that we travel, and that we go through portals, and that, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of that.
None of this is teach in school, of course.
None of it's taught in school. Wouldn't it be nice? That would certainly make it a lot easier
Well, you're
to
kind of
progress.
creating that school yourself.
Yeah, by helping with this YouTube channel and helping to teach people from here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. So you're
yeah,
doing it into a way where you're connecting people intellectually, from what I can see. Those that have been school educated to help them understand the the
the unknown. Yeah, I
the
mean, it's
unknown, the
known.
fourth and fifth dimensions. But yes,
It's known. It's becoming more known. But what
but
what what dimensional level, if you had to give a dimensional level, is the Galactic Federation of Light?
5D, they can go to 4D also, but usually under 5D.
Okay, and Ashtar Command,
5D.
5D, and this is where
That's
we're
where
headed,
they
right?
hide
Orion,
themselves is 5D. Yeah, I call it
and
hiding because they do have to cloak themselves there. Yes.
yeah, and the
Now,
Orion
yes.
Council.
No, that can go to 6 or 7D actually. There's different levels they can go to.
Thank you for helping me understand that better. And are we seeing, I don't know, we've been talking about the event, but I feel like that big energies that just came through. But are we seeing more of those changes where the veil becomes more thin, so to speak, and we do start to see the galactic shifts?
That's what the 21st is all about, or the planets. We don't really look at it as the 21st.
Right, the planet's alignment.
But the planet alignment is, yes, you're removing the veil slowly. So yes, throughout this year, when I see you seeing, I see cat people.
Yes.
Well, and that's part of the guardians of the earth. And yes, they can sometimes have no emotions themselves, similar to the Greys, but they have to be like soldiers, protecting the earth, though, not trying to destroy it, as the reptilians are trying to. Well, the reptilians are growing internally, as humans are. Reptilians and humans are really not that different when you look at it, because humans are acting irrational and party all the time and all that. That is a very reptilian way too. They're just
to party,
no responsibilities.
Uh-oh. I must have some reptilian DNA.
Well, that's nothing wrong with that, but some of them are just the relationships, again, just out of control. That's a very reptilian reality, actually.
Okay, that's very good to know.
Yeah. But yes, this is the veil. So when it'll happen, now we feel like after your holiday, now you're going into a holiday state.
Yes, correct.
So there's a lot going on. People are, this is like, you almost want to say this is like the last year of a third dimensional reality. Of course, you are connected to fourth dimension also.
Right.
But it's like, you already see it breaking down, and it's going to see more of it start to crumble in your next year. So you'll feel it. I believe because the holiday is kind of blocked in certain ways.
Yeah.
So throughout, I believe in your January, possibly going into your new year, probably your new year, as you go into that New Year cycle, you'll feel like things are really happening here, aren't they? Yeah. So we'll just say that you might not see these beings, but feeling them and become more, maybe not every day, because some of you would rather connect with them every day. We understand.
Right.
But it'll become easier. Little by little.
Interesting. So I have a galactic skull Ra that has merged with me. A galactic skull Ra that has merged, which I'm like, okay, how is it that I'm connected to Ra, Amun Ra, but then I'm also connected to Ra, this galactic Ra? So is that just a coincidence to the name?
Yeah, they're basically kind of like the same thing in different aspects. So they are interconnected, like different versions of each other. Well, yes, the Ra Collective. The Ra Collective. Think of the Ra Collective as a library of knowledge for the physical reality. So, of course, there's a spiritual reality, but humans are here to learn about the physical. So you actually, in your past, have brought more physical understanding of getting a job, doing just how to function in this reality physically. Of course, spiritual energies are still there, but many came here, they disconnect. If they're here to continue with that, the Atlantean energies would have never left the Earth. But they wanted to know what the physical felt like. When they felt the physical, and humans first felt the physical, really felt it, because they were more fourth dimension beings at the time. But when they really felt this physical, it's like, what is this? And they almost became obsessed with it. They wanted more. So you can say they unconsciously did everything they could to get to that. Break down the fourth dimension, just get rid of it. Let's go. Yeah, become barbarians. Yes.
Yeah.
Some of them did. Obviously, this wasn't an agreement from everybody. The mass collective wanted to know how it felt like to be physical. So
okay, so with that being the case, then, so that makes a better understanding for me for the skull Ra being another aspect of Ra, only in the galactic. So, okay, so thank you for that clarity. So then I did receive a gift from the stars in my palms and my fingertips and my wrists to assist with channeling. What exactly was I given, and can I get more?
Well, yes, in channeling, you can have your palms up in the air if you like to connect. I believe also your third eye will start to open up too. See, that's the thing why your third eye is not fully, because you have the ability to shapeshift also. Like, you might not shift personally. Like, somebody's
Right.
looking at you, your energy shifts and say, whoa, did you just change? In their mind, they saw you change. So
I can shapeshift.
I think that's another reason why I'm not activated that.
You know, can I just make myself more beautiful?
Well, that's no comment.
God.
Yes, of course. Well, your alien self can look more blue, more green, and you can't recognize yourself. So, aquatic.
Oh gosh. Well, you know what? I'll behave. I'll behave. I won't turn myself into a blue or green
Yeah, we don't
being. I
think that's going to
promise.
happen anytime soon. You just, because you're here to help people understand
Yeah.
what
That's
can't
funny.
be understood.
Right.
So you're going to keep this form. But yes, we do see you. Like, sometimes when you are teaching people, you are like a feline. You bring that energy. Like, if somebody says, you
Yeah.
just turn to a feline, it's like, oh, yes, that was me then. It'd be more like very subtle like that.
Is that why also with my personality, I feel sometimes like I tend to be, I don't know, I always thought it was just masculine energy, but I think that sometimes I can get very stoic, very demanding, very like not
That's your
happy go
feline.
lucky. I feels like I'm kind of like half and half. Like sometimes I'm
Yes.
like, oh, having a good time, party animal, and and other times being very, kind of demanding
Responsible.
and respond. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
respond.
feline side of you.
I like to have my I like to have my routines. I want my routines. I don't
Yes,
like to
that's
shift too much.
yeah. Felines are very organized. Some of them are. At least the hierarchy are. Well, they want to.
Now I think they took that part out of my DNA too. The organization. They left me with the creative and said, "Figure it out."
Well, interesting though. The creative side of you, some of it comes from a Zeta connection because
Oh.
they found, yeah, even your insectoid side. Yes, you say what you want about the Zetas, and yes, they have different. Well, Zetas can be like artists, starving artists. They can be kind of out of control. But they're more. There's a lot of things about them that people is like that came from a Zeta. It's like Zetas can paint. They can do things too. So
Yeah, I have a little bit of that creative aspect, but not enough. I keep thinking, why couldn't I have had just a little smidgen more?
well, because you're the teacher, you have just enough tools to be the teacher. That's why. You have exactly what you need. Of course, there's always more. You know, there's always more.
I
Of
do.
course,
Yeah.
that's kind of the idea. But it's what people are, because people are, what you have is what people are ready for. Obviously, more than that, you have more than what they're ready for. But
Yeah.
yes, in the next few years, you'll see more. Even this year, you'll feel more of a. There's always going to
Better
be
connection.
yes.
So, okay, so that's good to know. The hands up will assist with channeling. I don't know if I do it or I don't do it
You don't
when I'm
have
connecting.
to. Do what works for you.
Okay.
It activates when you're connecting.
Okay.
I believe it's
I will.
healing a lot of your heart at this time and do any type of channeling. Your heart is kind of blocked in some form. It's because you have too much information and you're opening up slowly because you want to be taken out of this reality too quickly.
Yeah. 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 I just said that to somebody, I said, you know, it's interesting. I keep thinking in my heart is how much more open can it be? Because I've opened it and opened it and opened it. And yet, you know, the
There's
other day I just had like a pain, like almost like somebody was like sticking their fingers in my chest. And I was like, what is that? Because it was very physical. And I was like, okay, obviously that's like more a heart stuff opening up.
Yes, that's your heart. Yes, there's so much to go. There's just so much you're still figuring out, of course.
Right. Still have to go at my own pace, I guess.
Yes, that's the healthiest part. Well, even if you force it, it's not going to come through.
Right.
That's happening gradual.
It's the divine timing. It's the appropriate timing when I'm ready and the other people who I'm meeting are ready at that same time.
Yes. It's just, well, obviously, yeah, people that you connect with, like your clientele, you already connect to them in astral before you connect to them in the physical.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you're giving them, this is quite, yeah, you give them like a introduction. So you're connected to, in your astral, there's a classroom already. It's like, so think of like a classroom of people, and it's like someone's, like one would stand up. We'll just use that scenario.
Okay, yeah.
One will stand up, it's like, yeah, I'm ready to go into the physical and meet you there. And so then it happens, and you meet them in the physical. Oh, how's it going? It's like you just never met this person. Oh, how's it going? But you actually did talk to them already.
Yeah,
so
sure. To make this meeting. Great. So they're agreeing to, could we send some more and send some money with them too? No, that whole lack of abundance, or, you know, everybody's the starving artist.
Yes.
So I've also been giving Galactic Reiki. Am I using that to the best of my ability, or is there something else that I should be doing to make that a better connection?
You're using it to what you need to at this time. Once again, it's bringing more of your feline aspect into this reality and healing the Zeta energies here.
Okay.
And the Archon energies are healing Zeta, Archon. Some of the children have a lot of Zeta implants to sometimes for the better, so they can learn. Some of them have learning disabilities, but some of them are, you know, to put them on their direction. Because some children are born so alien, they don't even know what this world is. So they get kind of like a program to understand this reality. Oh, I need to eat with a fork. I need to do this. You know, mannerisms.
Gotcha.
It's not easy for all these beings. It might look easy here, but it's not.
No, I definitely feel like there's people have challenges for sure.
Well, especially like when you have a reptilian being incarnated as a human, you know the help they can get. And you have a fish being that incarnates as a human. It's like, how do you do this again?
I can see where that could be very confusing.
Yeah, so they get help from the aliens of how to just do regular tasks.
So I have some gnomes that have been trying to connect with me. Sharina, Ephraim, and Patricio.
Mm-hmm.
And these three tend to, I don't know, hang out together.
Mm-hmm. Yes, was it Patricio? I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but that's the one that's predominantly around you.
The physical reality of 3D, my realization or connection to them, the gnomes.
Yeah, mostly in fourth dimension, it's usually. I don't believe they show up in the third dimension. I think they know better than that.
Unless it's us bringing them as statues, right?
Yeah, they check in on you, basically.
So they're just checking in on me?
Yeah, they don't really say what they're doing. They kind of keep things kind of quiet.
I figured it's because I just found out about my Elvin family.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're checking in on me.
Well, yes, the gnomes can open up doorways to the Agarthian reality, yes. Always for channeling purposes, yes. So the gnomes can give you a download. I actually believe your downloads from the angels is probably probably the most positive at this time. Like, the angels that you feel connected to.
Yeah.
Those seem to be the ones to tap into at this moment. Like with Raphael, I believe you're familiar with Raphael's energy.
Yes.
Raphael is connected to the stone tablets of the earth, like how history, information was remembered. Stone tablets is very much a Raphael creation, you can say.
Gotcha.
And it's not just a regular tablet, it's a paper tablets. Like that wasn't stone tablets he enjoys, because that's why it stays there. Of course, somebody can still steal it, but still.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know how information, like with the Bible, has been turned around all over the place.
Oh yeah, that's not even. It's a pretty much a book of fiction these days. There are tidbits of truth in there. I can see them.
Yeah.
I sense them.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of it is so far removed from what the lessons that were meant to be.
Yes, the scrolls or the the how the Bible was written, or just information in general. A lot of that came from Gabriel. So for
Right.
just paper of that time frame, or papyrus, whatever they call it back then.
Right.
Paper of its day. Yes, that's where Gabriel is connected to. So attributes from what the angels are brought here. And that's what you're connected to also, bringing, assisting humans to understand these things.
Yeah.
Because much of humanity in the past was just barbarian. Well, because when it lost the fourth dimension, it just, many of them lost control of who they were. So, interesting time
Gotcha.
to be.
So we are trying to bring them back. So one aspect is of writing light language. So my ability to write in light language and to understand what I'm saying when I'm speaking in light language or star language, as you will, because I'll see that I'll like write in the symbols or whatever, or this, I don't know. Sometimes it just feels like scribbles, and then I'll write the name of who I'm writing. Like I'll like write Lyran, or I'll write Fendorian, or I'll write Andromedan, and then you'll see what looks like ABCs, or you know what I mean, like as if I was writing out ABCs, like almost like a self-teaching. And then other times it's just like these random like pictures and colors that get put together. But I'm wondering if I'm going to start like hearing, sensing, or knowing what am I writing and what am I saying when I'm speaking in star language.
Well, right now the light language seems to be just to get you used to saying it. Is part of it right now. It's always done in love. Of course, you feel the feeling you're getting from it. Is this coming from love? Is this usually 90%, 99%?
Yes, it is.
So it's about helping the earth grow, connecting to, its potential. And the words, well, yeah, you have to trust your message, because I believe the messages are coming to you, just not always trusting that that's what it's saying.
Okay.
So just after you do the light language, you just kind of say and just start talking.
And just say what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just let it flow. And then that will, it's that simple. And same with writing it down, same thing. You go by what you feel from it when you're writing.
Yeah, because sometimes I feel like I'll draw images or whatever, and then I'll have like key words kind of pop in my head, and then I just write down whatever those key words are.
So like also you're in the past of origin of words. During your ancient time, during ancient Greece, you're part of, they're not saying what words, but you're a part of the creation of some of those words.
Oh, this must be my love of dictionaries, why I get word of the day in my inbox every day at work.
Yes, you're creating of sentences. Yes, language. Yes. I feel like it started in the Greeks, but also it went to Arabic also. The ancient Greeks, their language came from Arabic languages.
Gotcha.
And then they,
It's funny.
yes, and then it evolved. Yes, a lot of languages came from Arab languages. So yes, it expanded on the Greek language during that time, during ancient Greece.
Okay. That makes sense. And then the I asked you about the galactic skull Ra that I'm connected with, and then I wanted to ask about the actual galactic skulls. They told me that I'm working with galactic skulls.
Yeah, the skulls are very, yes, hidden, obviously. And that's
Yes.
where, yeah,
They're
those
in a
are,
cave.
yes, those are ancient. I mean, yes, those are ancient aliens, basically. Skulls of ancient aliens, basically.
Okay. Now I do have a skull Dragar, and I'm told he is an ancient being, and this is him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Um, but I struggle to connect with him. I think I struggle to connect with him, and I have him with me pretty much all the time, like 24/7, pretty much. Unless I'm off to the store or whatever, but when I'm home. Are there messages that he would like to tell me directly?
As you know,
Dracar.
he's an ancient being. Yeah, it was part of the early stages of writing, of the written word that you're connected to also. And you're part of the ancient, as you, yes, you yourself are part of the ancient words, yes, like I said, being created, letters being created also. So basically, as once again, the education of humanity. So you say you helped teach a lot of the cave people how to come out of the cave.
Gotcha.
The civilization. Yeah. And that's actually your Anunnaki side of you. Because you do have Anunnaki too. But that was more about building civilizations, not to cultivate gold or anything like that. It's about
Gotcha.
helping humanity progress.
Which is
So,
maybe why I don't mind sitting around a campfire.
yeah. There's a lot of days like that, yes. Well, it's like
All
teaching
right.
a dog new tricks. That's how humans were. Very difficult for them to teach them to do anything. Of course, now they're used to it. But in the early
Yeah,
stages, that was not the case.
there. That's funny.
Well, the children became easier to understand, while the parents were like shaking their heads. I don't understand. So you have new
Gotcha.
generations. The children were the ones that pushed to civilization, of course, because they were taught when they were young. So that's what was so same as today.
I work with multiple dragons, and right now the one that I am familiar with, my main dragon is Quanon. So I would say connect with Quanon.
Quanon, okay.
Quanon.
Quanon, okay.
Yes, yes, Quanon.
Greetings. I am Quanon. Blessings to you. Dragon energy. Blessings to you.
Thank you. Blessings to you as well, my dear Quanon.
Yes, you're learning a great deal about your soul. That's why you are here. As not everyone knows about their soul. Yes, they might have an idea of it, even in spirit, but you come to go in deeper, or everyone has, for that matter. Of course, not the easiest path for anyone.
Yeah, it's very educational for sure.
Yes.
But I did want to touch into the dragon realm and find out if my past life with the elven realm tied into the dragon, and is that why I am working with the dragons, or was it based off my angelic, or was it based off my galactic? All of the above.
Well, you can say it's all of the above, but it's mostly about the dragon. It's mostly about that.
Did I have dragon lives then too?
Yes. Oh, yeah, several. Crystallization dragon beings, yes.
Wow. So, what additional guidance should I have from you at this point? as far as assisting the dragons further or connecting to them more readily.
Well, yes, to understand human stubbornness, to heal that energy, as that is what you're here to calm down among those that you're connected with, or the realm of the earth. The realm of the earth is going through a lot of self-healing. That's having difficulty seeing itself clearly. So, in your connections, you'd be going deeper into the human psyche, is what we see, and where humans originated from, like where the soul originated from, like what star system, because there are many star systems, but there is particular ones. One of them is Orion, but that's not the only one. But all star systems decided to combine into the soul using DNA, as you know, to create the human currently here.
And I have had Orion come up quite a bit recently too, as a star system to focus in on. I don't know if that's my most ancient star system.
It is one of them, yes. It is one. Well, you've been part of some of their stars. There's been a star that has collapsed in Orion, or several stars for that matter, that you're had incarnations witnessing for yourself. One of the reasons why I incarnated in this world, to face the beings that would do something like that, called the reptilian beings.
To come and take them on.
To heal them. They're
to
wounded.
Convert them. Yes.
A lot of them are wounded soldiers. So they just have a lot of deep difficulties within themselves. They don't like facing themselves. They say they do, but they really don't. That's one of the reasons why you're here, basically to understand the human emotions and the complexity of a human.
Yeah, I do find myself kind of calling people out on their emotions to say, hang on a second, that's like inappropriate, or why are you saying that? And yeah, kind of calling them out on their expression of their emotions.
Yes.
And bringing it more into a neutral. So in other words, if I see two people who are arguing about a subject, I prefer them to find that neutral ground where they're not yelling at each other, so to speak, but kind of like an agree to disagree. So without raising voices.
Yes.
Is that what that stems from?
Yes. As a dragon, well, dragon beings can be very emotional. They can be very overbearing also.
That's the one I know. Actually, the two that I know.
Yes.
They are fractals of dragon beings. And so that highly emotional, stand the ground, ferocity is being expressed. Yeah. Now, Kwanan, are there other dragons? I know that I work with several that I should be starting to tap into or reach out to as well.
Well, there's the silver dragon. There's the golden dragon. Golden dragon's connected to a dragon fleece, like the golden fleece you hear in Greek mythology.
Golden fleece?
Yes, you ever heard of that? It's in your Greek mythology.
I know that one does not.
That's just yes, you have to look that up. It's
I will.
A MacGuffin that some of the Greeks were looking for in their mythology.
Golden fleece. And the silver dragon?
Yes, there's a silver dragon. It's not going into detail, just a silver being.
Just so I should try to connect with them a little bit more now as well. Okay.
Yes, the golden dragon, the silver dragon. Energies.
I know I had some other dragons that were other colors. But I imagine they're here. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, there's a autumn dragon also.
That one I am aware of. and the green, which I know is not my dragon, just a help dragon from another being, which who I know it is, but I'm not naming names.
Yes.
And then I'm wondering if maybe what I was thinking is a yellow dragon was a golden dragon.
Yes, it was. It doesn't always show it's gold. It usually keeps it unknown. Usually it's not one to flaunt itself.
Okay. But it's got more things that I need to be educated in to start to learn from.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you very much. I will reach out to them. And then there is another dragon who is teaching the new enclave of dragons, Argfried.
Well, it's going well. There's a lot of headstrong beings. It's just they're all kind of angry with each other of where the world is going, but they're optimistic about what's happening to the world. So there are many like white knights here on this planet that are incarnated here that are not seen usually. Assist the Earth in its ascension.
Wow. That's awesome. And I'm actually getting a little bit of kind of pressure here in my third eye. Is that because I'm starting to release?
Yes. Correct.
Yeah. Good.
Well, that's once again your Agarthian connections. Yeah, Agartha will help you. It's not the easiest place to go to. It's something that will happen gradually with you in your awakening.
Okay. I will trust in that. Are there other beings that the dragons work with that I should, or the group of us that also work with dragons should be more in tune with?
No, there's not particularly, no. None of them are saying anything at this. The ones that you're connected to should be fine.
Okay.
At this point. I think you have enough on your plate as it is.
Yeah. I'm always grasping for that new set of knowledge, though. What's coming. I don't know if that's a human trait or if that's anxious to get my teaching on the road.
there are dragon layers that you're connecting to. Yes, they have knowledge. They're here to unlock. Yes.
Awesome.
That are connected.
And are there?
Yes.
They're connected to me.
There are realms that are like caverns that go into castle. Like you go into a cave and find a castle that's been hidden for some time.
I see.
Like castle realms, you can say.
Interesting. My maiden name was Castle.
Yeah, and many of the dragons do protect those castles too. So, and you've lived in one too.
In a castle, in one of the dragon realms.
That's in a cave with a dragon outside of it.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Maybe that's why I say that is something new. Maybe that's why I say I don't want to live in a castle. They're cold and damp.
Oh, that one was cold and damp, but it was still pretty exciting.
Yeah, it sounds very exciting. Well, thank you. Is there anything else that I should know?
You are, yes, healing the moon yourself. The moon has been through a great deal. It feels the pain of the earth. Yes, it does have a controlling energy around the earth, but it's also in pain itself. So what's happening to the world? So as you can, when you connect to Mother Earth, you can feel her energy, but the moon's going through a great deal.
Yeah, I feel strongly drawn to the moon.
Yeah, it's like going through what humanity is going through. Humanity feels like it's stuck. The moon feels like it's kind of stuck also. They're not alone.
Okay. I I think I will connect with the moon the next time we do a healing and
Yes. Very good.
and assist and
Yes.
assist
Yes.
because I know that that's what I do.
Of course.
My energy is being much broader than even I can imagine. I know, even
Yes. So, all right. So blessings
Okay.
to you. Blessings.
Blessings and thank you.